Hi friends, and welcome to another episode of Coach's Corner. Interestingly, this is take 2 for this video, which I never ever have done because there's so much content. So I'm going to take a breath, like I always suggest to you, and get really focused on the major stuff that I need to share. So let me start by sharing a question, as I do each week. And this question comes from a woman who was in a workshop that I was delivering last week at a client site. And so she asked, it's widely documented that gender bias is alive and well in our workplaces. What can I do as a professional woman to help my chances in rising in leadership? It's a huge question, and people spend their whole careers focusing on this, writing books, teaching, delivering workshops, etc. So I'm going to try and distill this into 3 key areas, and you're going to have to dive deep into the one that you think is most interesting and relevant for you right now. First of all, I'm suggesting that you get really, really clear on some of the biases that are holding women back in general. These are systemic in nature. They've been part of our history, part of how we have grown up, and understanding these for the purpose of knowing how to strategize is why I'm suggesting this. How can you get this kind of information? Leanin.org by Foundation by Sheryl Sandberg is a fantastic place to get research-based stuff. Sheryl is the COO of Facebook, a very reputable and credible and well-known business, and she's had a major hand in that organization, so knows what it takes. You can get very tangible and actionable items and suggestions and strategies based on all of this research. So that's helping you get really, really clear on the landscape. The second thing I'm suggesting is to really know your values and know your worth. Are you with an organization that supports your value and your worth? Do you see women around you elevating? Is there a plan in place to create a more inclusive workplace? Is there a plan in place to help support women rise to the top? And if not, maybe that's not the place for you. Maybe it's time to start looking outside to see if there's something that would better align with your desire to climb. And if that's not possible, or even in the meantime, I've got some strategies, 5 strategies to do right now, in the here and now, beyond the other 2 that I just suggested. 1, go for jobs you're only 60% qualified for. Research shows that men do this. And so they are putting themselves out there, so they're maybe getting the jobs because they're actually saying, hey, choose me. Whereas women tend to wait until they're 100% qualified. So that's one strategy. Second, talk about your accomplishments. Women tend to look at that as gloating or boasting. And so if you don't talk about it and you're waiting for someone to actually acknowledge it and see it, you might be waiting a long time. Third, amplify the voices of other women around you. And so if strategy number 2 that I just said is so uncomfortable for you, you don't want to do it, enlist the help of another woman who shares a lot of space with you in the workplace. Perhaps you attend a lot of meetings together, and you can be each other's amplification buddy. This is something that amazing author Joanne Littman talks about in her book, That's What She Said, what men need to know and women need to tell them about working together. So if I'm with Sally, or let's say Joanne, I'm with Joanne in a meeting, and Joanne just shared a kick-ass idea, and you're wondering, why is no one else hearing this? Why is this not even getting any attention? You can amplify her voice by saying, hey, I really want to explore that idea from Joanne. Did you hear what she just said? And you repeat it. You can do that for one another. And research shows that that's more liked and that helps women versus boasting their own accomplishments. It's not really boasting though, is it? Step number 4, or suggestion number 4, is get involved. Could you create a lean-in circle? I mentioned Lean-In already that Sheryl Sandberg created, and there are awesome resources on creating a network that helps elevate women and support one another in the workplace, or you can create one outside of the workplace. I'm doing one of those right now here in Ottawa. And then finally, enlist the support of a male leader who is willing to be your champion, even when you're not there. So I'm not talking about someone who necessarily will sit with you one-on-one and coach you, but someone who will be a voice for you, who will say, let's put forward Sally for that promotion, who can be that champion for you when you are with him and when you're not with him. I hope some of these strategies help. There's so much more. Please let me know what you liked best and if you have anything to add. And if you want some of these resources that I've mentioned, let me know. Happy to share them with you. Have an awesome day, friends.